Hello. Okay, let's check if that is working. All right. It looks like I am live. At least I hope so. I don't know. I could be... One day I could be doing this and not realize that I'm not actually live. Okay, so before I get started today, I do have to adjust my chat because my chat is not good. Let me see here. I have a lot of stuff open, but that is okay. Oh. I'm into the shadows now. No worries. I'm not gonna be doing much today, so it's okay. But thank you for stopping by. I have not fixed my chat, so your messages are not gonna appear, but yes. Thank you for coming regardless. You enjoy the shadows. Alright. So... Oh yeah, okay. I need to refresh my chat. Okay, so this is... There we go. And then... I should make this a bit smaller. I needed to fix this because the last time I had chat open, I realized that the window was not good, or like it was cut off. Hopefully though, hopefully this will be a bit better. And now I just have to adjust. Let me make sure that I did this right. It's always chat I have to do something with. Come on. There we go. Okay, that looks a bit better from what I had. From what I had previously, so that's good. That is what I wanted. And actually, I have to do... So I'm just gonna be drawing today because, you know, it's the start of the week and I had something like that I can actually show. I'm quite picky with it. I don't know, I don't like showing my messy sketches on stream, but I can show everything after. Not everything will be interesting to watch, but it kind of shows you my process of how I go from, like, you know, lines to no lines, because it's a bit different from what most people are probably used to. So yes, I am going to I can have the chat while I draw. I mean, I'm gonna have my head down most of the time, so it might not be useful. My character will not be moving as much today, which is fine. I mean, I'm just a PNG tuber, so I will, you know, that's not like a big thing. I don't have like a face cam or anything, so it's not like it matters. I'm going to copy this and I am going to switch to... Here we go. Okay, so for this stream, since I have a bit of room, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this a bit. My iPad is not that big, so it's fine. I'll just have to move it back later. There we go. And then I should have enough room for chat to go in the corner. Hopefully. That should be enough space. I could also move myself a bit. Let's see. That's good. And then I'm going to... Oh, oops. Ah. Okay, I need to lock things down or else I will move stuff. Oh wow, look at that. I fit snug in there. Alright, and then let's see if I can paste it here. Paste, duplicate. Oh, here we go. Okay. Does that work? Does that actually work? Okay, I have to be at the. I have to put it at the bottom though. So right here. There we go, and then I can make it bigger. There's still a bit of room. I love how like this first bit is not even like me drawing. It's just me configuring chat. But that is fine. And I can cover the thing a bit because I mean it's just my spirit. It's alright. Okay. And let me just make sure it's getting proper. Yeah, there we go. Alright. So this is what I have to work with today. I have the music playing because I am, you know, it's gonna be quite chill. Let me just do one by test before we move. Alright. Let's see if that appears. Alright, okay. It's working. It's working. So, I'm gonna have... Yeah, I'm gonna stay still. I'm not gonna have any tracking because my... my head is just down. Or, my head is looking down, but it's okay. Or I guess I can have my mouse, like, looking to the side, but that's kind of weird. Unless, you know, unless that looks a bit more natural. For me to be leaning on the side there. But I do quite like this layout for art streams, so I'm gonna keep it like this. Anyway, so I have this. Usually when I draw, I kind of like have like this clean sketch that I kind of work with. Like, mind you, this is like after, you know, cleaning up lines and whatever. You know, this isn't like what I initially start out with, obviously. But I kind of refine it and go from there. Which is what I'm, you know, hopefully I don't stream for too long, or this doesn't take too long, but there's quite a lot of detail in the hair. But, I am going to be starting the silhouette process today. And so, you know, I thought I'd stream it. I know some people are quite curious about how I achieve it, so, yeah. This will be a fun little way to showcase that. First off, so these are all just... I only have like a few layers. Oh, what happened to my... Oh yeah, no, I deleted the first layer because it was the sketch. So I only have a few separated, so I have it like... the character, the background... Let me see. And then like the face bits. Just because I like to do the face bits last. I don't like doing it at the same time. But then usually what I do... So there is nothing under this, right? If I change the background color, you know, the background color changes too. And so... Yeah. And so you might be thinking like, oh, how do you work with that then? So what I do is I actually change it to like a grey color. I put that as the background, and then what I do is I put another layer and I go completely white, and then I use something that is solid. So I usually use like syrup. You can use like any you can even use hard blend if you want, but I use that for like my eraser. So I do that, and then so I have to make sure though I'm under the character, not the background. So for example, this layer, I could probably name this one. Rename big sheet. No, not big. Okay, there we go. And then this is Oops. And then this is the face. There we go. Just so everything. And then I'm not gonna name this one yet because it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So I am... So now... Oh man, I'm not used to this kind of stuff. So now I am just going to color. Now I can actually turn the background off because I'm not working on that. But as long as I have like the character bit, then I can work with this. So I just kind of fill it in. Now, the way that I do things, you know, I don't really make it easy for myself. I'm sure there's a better way to get the silhouette. But because I completely skip, like, the line out process, you know, like, I don't really have anything to kind of, like, work with in that case. Like, I don't, you know, I don't use... I'm sure there's a way to do it faster and more efficient. But this is the way I always do it. Like, I would, you know, just... I don't know if this will work. There we go. Yes. And then I just kind of erase the excess. But again, like, I'm sure there's a more efficient way to make the silhouette if you already, like, you know, if you're used to doing line art, but I'm not. You know, I've never actually done clean line art, like, ever. In my kind of, like, even back then when I was, like, learning, I didn't do, like, clean lines. It was more like a sketchy art style. Anyway, so because of that, the way that I do things is quite inefficient. And it's probably not what most people do when they do lineless art. But yeah, and then I just kind of erase from here. That's not gonna be that interesting. So I don't know. I'll try to look up every once in a while because I actually don't know if there's like anyone in chat or not, but that's okay. Yeah, and I do this for quite a long while. I do this for the entire bit around, and I also do it for the face, but I do the face, like I said, last. So. And honestly, the neater you do this, right, the neater it's gonna pop out later. Which is why I spend so much time on this, in this part. Like, if I tried to do, like, clean line art for this part and then just filled it in, I don't know, I'm not really, like, I'm not very confident about, like, my strokes and stuff. But if I kind of do it this way, then I know for sure that it will be smooth. And the nice way about doing it this way is because I'm doing it, like, manually, is that, you know, it still looks nice. It still looks nice and smooth after, but also, you know, it has a bit of jankiness to it. Like, it's not perfect. I think that's why I don't want to rely on, like, kind of, like, using line art and then just kind of filling it in. Because I feel like if I do that, it will look too neat and it will kind of remove the, like, kind of like the hand-drawn style of it, or like the, you know, kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. Well, I've gotten before, like, especially back before I went to Alone with Style, people are already saying, because I use a lot of texture, like textured brushes, they always say like, oh, like I like you, it's like it looks like you drew this on paper or something. And no, to this day, even though my art style has most definitely changed, I do like to keep that aspect of my art intact. So that's kind of why I do the things I do. Like, I'm, when it comes to being an artist, efficiency is not what I strive for, because there's plenty of ways to make my process efficient. I just don't do that. And it's not like most of the time, you know, like if I guess if I'm doing like a commission or something, then I would do things to help speed up the process, you know, because I want to give the client something on time. But otherwise, if it's just for me and I'm drawing just cause, then I will take it easy. Nice and simple. Let's see. I don't want it to be completely quiet while I draw, so what can I talk about? Can I talk about while we have this nice music playing? Well, I guess since playing some music, I recently got, no, like, literally just a few hours ago, I got my Windows Live Messenger working on my computer, and yeah, actually on Blue Sky I released a thing about that, but I thought it would be fun. I used to have an AOL client actually, like, working. And, well, I ran it in a virtual machine because a lot of the stuff that I do when it comes to that, I run in a virtual machine. But, you know, it's just kind of nice. There's something nice about having, like, a messenger in the background. And, like, while I do have Discord open, I'll be honest, as a platform, I don't like using Discord, and a lot of people probably nowadays would agree to that. They don't really like where the platform is going. So, you know, there's that regard. But even like Discord alternatives, I don't know. Like, I have them, but no one else I know uses them, and it's a bit of a shame, really, because one that I'm on often is Fluxo. Super nice over there, super chill, but like no one uses Fluxo either, even though it's like one of the more popular ones, and it's a bit of a shame. I you know, I guess if I grow a bit more, and people are asking for like a little small community to be able to like interact with me and like send me stuff, then I'll consider starting one. Like, I'll consider starting a server. But as of right now, I don't really have a reason to, especially since I don't know, like, yeah, I don't really know if it'll be used or not. And while it would be nice to have one, you know, it's just gonna be like a dead server, and I'll probably, I'll most likely accidentally use it as like a test server, which, I mean, I guess it's fine, but if it's gonna be like a community or something for me, I don't want it to turn into that. No, I want it to be actually used. So I'll wait. But yeah, that was super cool. Sometimes too, I like to hop on like IRC clients and just, well, I use a web client because I don't really want to install anything. I could install, but you know, I just have something registered for me. I don't have anything, like I don't have an actual client. But man, chats like that I love. But you know, nowadays they're kind of considered old. Not everyone uses them, even if they are like mobile clients or whatever, you know. If you do want to talk to people nowadays, you know, it's more of like a niche thing, which I get. It's kind of like the point, and it's kind of my thing. Sometimes, I don't know, sometimes it's a bit lonely, kind of isolated, I guess. Because, I mean, online you'll find others, you'll find other people who will be there. But it's not necessarily gonna be the same people that interact with me on a normal basis. Because, I mean, that's why I use Discord, you know? I use Discord and I still have Discord because everyone else uses it. But I honestly wish that it wasn't the case right now. At least for me. I know people love those platforms because it's connected them to so many other people, but it's also, I'd argue it's caused a lot of problems too. But yeah. Hold on, let me check something. Alright. Okay, just making sure. Yeah. There are some, what is it? Well, I've looked into other stuff. Mostly, I don't know. I just want a platform that's not so distracting, and I don't have to like pay for. You know what I mean? Like, by all means, I love it when you know, if you like software or something, or like a program that's made by like small teams, indie teams, or like, you know, like one person. I think it's real nice when you're able to like donate or like support in some way. But I'm also just, I mean, I've never been a fan of like subscription models. And like, I know that Discord Nitro has like a lot of perks and whatever, but it kind of sucks that like something that you expect that everyone should be able to, like, I don't know, enjoy has to be paywalled. Like, it's not a fun experience when everyone is using all of these like silly things. And while you can use it in like, you know, a specific server, and I know people who like join Discord servers just for those silly emotes. But if you don't have Nitro and you don't communicate in that server, then there's kind of no point in getting those like emojis because you can't even use them. Not only that, but there's like the special like moving emojis, you know? Everyone uses those and whatnot, and they're super like nice and cool. But if you don't have Nitro, then, you know, sucks to suck. You can't even like use a version that's just like static. You know, you're just not allowed to use it at all. And that might be just, again, because I don't really want to pay. I've paid previously in the past, and let's just say, like, it is very, like, you get whiplash when you don't have like the pics that you've been paying for like what, months? Almost a year? Because I remember when I first lost my Nitro on like my my personal account on Discord, like it was tough. It was tough because a lot of the stuff I used, it was in a separate server. I had custom emojis and like ones that I would use to mess with my friends all the time. But when I lost Nitro, I kind of lost that. And that's not to say that I need to do that, but I'm just saying it'd be quite nice if it was, I don't know, if I didn't feel so limited. Like, at least for me, if you're gonna have like a free tier or something, or like, a paid service, paid subscription, make things balanced. But yeah, otherwise, it's a bit sad. Alright. Sorry, he's looking at a message. Also, I don't know if it'll pick it up. I put it on busy, but if you hear like a notification in the background, you shouldn't, because I'm on busy right now, but I do have Windows Live Messenger open. And I was talking to someone earlier. I believe they're offline now, but just in case someone messages me and you hear that sound, that's what that is. But yeah, the instant messaging experience is not the same as it was before. And it's not like yeah, it's not like I completely lived through the experience either. I just really love this kind of stuff. And it's cool that people are still keeping the technology alive. But why different landscape from, and it's the same with a lot of the stuff on the open web, I mean, a lot of people are gravitating towards it because, times, the way things are going and all that. And the way, like, social media is, like, practically a game there. A lot of people are turning to, like, the indie web. And, what is it? Kind of like, I guess trying to recreate the magic that the old internet had. Which I think is cool. Definitely cool. But it's still different in its own way. I mean, a lot of people are learning how to build, like, websites with, like, HTML, CSS. That's cool. But, yeah. I've considered doing something like that too, but then I'm like, okay, this is cool, but who do I share it with? I genuinely do not know who I would, or I guess who would find it. And I guess that's one part of the magic of the web, of the open web. You never know who's gonna come across. But if I'm gonna be paying for like a domain, I would like it to get at least some traffic. Even if domains are quite like cheap nowadays, like you can find one for quite cheap. It'd be kind of a waste if I got one and I didn't end up using it. Stuff like that. I am looking for a place, because I do actually have a model that's ready to rig. I don't know if I'll rig it this week, or if I'm going to rig it, you know, next week. But I do have a model that's ready to rig, and I was debating on finding like a place where I can put all of my example models, or like, you know, example stuff, because that I feel is practical if somebody wanted to go. The thing is though, I have my like art account separate from like the account I use for streaming, just because, you know, even though I draw and I rig, you know, all that, when it comes to my actual stuff that I released, I like to keep it. I'd like to keep it separate. So, especially because a lot of the stuff that I do, art-wise, like even this character, right? Like, probably like, who's this? No, she's not just some girl. She's actually like a character that, one of the characters I like writing about. But that kind of proves the point where it's like, okay, well, no one really knows who this is or like what my other projects are. And while I have like this, and I, you know, I do draw, and then I also like rig PNG TVs. You know, if it's related to like PNG TV, then I will share it on this channel. But otherwise, anything art related, I'm gonna keep over there. And that's not like, you know, because I don't want you to find my art stuff. It's just because I just want separation. And for the model that I'm, you know, that I can rig, or that I have ready to rig, that one is drawn in my usual art style. Like my model right now, as you can see, it's very like flat and simple. Most of the textures on the hair, but this isn't my usual art style. Yeah, so, yeah, I'll see. I'm going to... So, for that one, when I release the little showcase for that, because I will do a showcase, I'm planning to keep my art handle in my, like, you know, my streaming handle separate. Like, I'll put the art under my other account, and then, you know, the rigging under this one, because that's kind of what I want to have it as. Like, art over there, and then rigging here. And that might confuse some people, but that's kind of just like the separation that I've gone with. So, if it confuses people, I'm so sorry. I will, you know, like, I'll make sure to clear that up too, and like the description. Oh, I guess I should have. Well, okay, I don't know if I'll link it on this stream, but if I share in the video, I will like link my other Blue Sky account for my art account, because I don't really post anything. You know, like I also use Blue Sky over there. So if you, and I go by a different name. But, you know, if you want to go check out like my regular art stuff, like I'm most likely going to be posting this finished artwork on there. But if you want to check out my other art stuff, not related to any of my streaming, anything of my streaming stuff, I will have that available for sure. The reason why for my my 2.0 model like release, I didn't put by my other account is because it just because like that the model that I made, like this one, it's not really like to show for other, like, you know, I'm not really putting it on anything related to my anyways, especially since the style is a bit different from my usual, so I don't feel like I had to put it under my art name, but it's still me, you know. I mean, once I release the other model that I've been working on, and I, you know, and I put that it is me, you know, it'll be fine. Like, as long as I communicate, I guess, that separation for people, then it should be okay. Like, I regardless, you know, I want this just separation there. But yeah, I'm quite excited actually, because I mean, a lot of people, a lot of the newest subscribers that I've been getting on YouTube, they're not really like subscribers because of my streams. Although I have been getting a bit more views from my streams because I've been streaming for longer periods of time. And so I assume it is, YouTube is actually spreading my stream around to some recommended people. But otherwise, I believe that a lot of the new subscribers that I'm getting is actually because of that video I made on my 2.0 release. So, you know, on YouTube, that's the way to go, you know. It's a video sharing platform, so gotta make videos in order to get traffic. I do have a fun video planned. It's not the design one. Again, the design one will take a bit. But the because right now for rigging I use RahiTube by Rahisaurus. And so that's what I've been using for years. Yes, years now. And before then, I used to use a little well, like for actual rigging, because there was like you know, there's Discord reactive images. There's a lot of PNG tuber software out there, and it's all well, most of it is free and open source, so that's nice. The one that I used to use before RahiTube was PNG Tuber Plus, and that one is quite popular. And it was the first software that I used that had like actual like rigging that you can do. Because the other PNG Tuber software at the time were like simple ones, you know, like static images that move and bounce and whatnot. Again, like Discord reactive images. But you know, I wanted something that was a bit more like there was, I don't know, like I wasn't looking for like a live 2D alternative. I just wanted something that was like a bit nicer, you know, with a bit of physics, a bit more movement. Because the most movement you would get before with like the other software, and they've gotten better, but before, like, you know, you just kind of get like your standard bouncing movements, shaking movements, things like that. And I wanted to make something a bit more complex with, like, you know, with the models that I wanted to make. And yeah, I saw tutorials on PNG Tuber Plus, and that was what I used. And then I switched to RahiTube, and I have not gone back ever since. There are a few now that are like super good, like especially, okay, so mouse tracking has gotten quite good with PNG tubers. And that's so, like, that's great. Not only like, not only mouse tracking, but controller tracking as well. Like, you know, it tracks your controller and moves in accordance to that. So if you like playing games and you have a controller connected, you know, that's great. That's awesome. I personally don't have like a controller toggle or anything like that. But for the people who do, you know, that's great. And I just love the fact that this stuff is, for the most part, free and open source, you know? I use Linux. I love open source. But yeah, honestly, I just love how accessible it is. And so I was planning, so going back to kind of like my video idea, since I have not touched, like, especially the newer versions of PNG 2B Plus, I was thinking of like making a video of trying to go back to it, because there's like a few small things between Rahi 2B and PNG 2B Plus that were different. I mean, not only like the UI, but also functionality. And so I have not visited the software in so long. Well, I say so long. It's been a couple of years. And so I just kind of want to see if I remember how to do it. You know? It could be interesting, it could not be. But luckily, you know, I have a few like chibi models. I have a few, well, no, I don't have like a full body, and I don't even want to attempt full body on PNG 2B Plus. But I do have some boss type models that I can use. I can even use like my old, I could use my old Mirel model if I wanted to see if I can use it on PNG 2B Plus. But that's the idea ahead, is to like kind of go back, record myself trying to figure out if I remember how to use PNG 2B Plus, and yeah, hopefully it goes for an interesting YouTube video. Now, I don't know when I'll be able to record it, because I have to sit down. It probably has to be on a day where I'm not streaming. Otherwise, I should be fine. What else is going on? Oh, so I went to the library recently. Super nice in there, but I was kind of sad. Well, not sad, but like a bit upset, because I sat at a table I thought had access to like a power source, or like, you know, an outlet. And so, you know, I saw it. It didn't look like it wasn't closed or anything. Oh, hold on. Okay. So it didn't look like it was closed or anything. But when I tried to plug in my laptop, because my laptop was like, what, in 5% already? I was just like, oh, it's got a bit of juice left, I can still use this. But when I tried to plug in my laptop and it was like on 5%, it turns out there was no power there. It wasn't connected, or like, you know, it wasn't being powered. And I was like, no! So, yeah, no, I couldn't continue working on the stuff that I was working on because my laptop died. And I had to wait until like I got home to like until I can finally charge it. Because the thing is that well, there were more places that I could have moved to, you know how like when you get to a space, or like, you know, I don't know how often you go to a cafe. But you know, like you go to a cafe, you're nice and comfortable, you've got your table, you know, they delivered your drink to you, your pastry, whatever. And then, you know, you don't want to move anymore, you're like, you're comfortable. That's how I felt in the library, you know, I had all my stuff out. I had all the things that I had. It's like, you know, to to reference, to research. Well, was it research? Technically, though. And I didn't want to move. I could not be bothered to move. So yeah, I didn't. Oh. No, that's not what I want. There we go. I had to change the music. But yeah, so I was super upset that I couldn't work on my stuff. But it's okay, cause I mean, so I've mentioned it in a previous stream, but I use Linux is like my main driver. The main driver, like, you know, like my go-to kind of operating system. I only use Windows for things like gaming and some, you know, like graphic design and stuff. I've been trying to switch all of my programming things to Linux, and so far that's succeeded. But yeah, unfortunately, I still cannot escape Windows fully. I don't want to use Wine. I have access to Wine, but I don't really want to rely on Wine either. So I've been trying to expand on like my knowledge on like open source resource. Open source stuff. Yeah, and it's been going quite well. And instead of Notion, I've decided to switch to Anytype. I haven't moved a lot of my stuff yet, but I'm speaking of like wanting to kind of release models for like examples. I was thinking of making a quick little Anytype page where people can download stuff. I don't know how well that would work, but I've considered it. Yeah, so there's that. I've been oh right, so I've been working on the side because I made a Linux Foundation education account. There was another one that I could have done, but I'm trying to get a Linux certification. Not because like I'm a programmer or like, you know, I'm trying to be a sysadmin or anything. They have like kind of like a introduction to Linux course, and while I've used Linux for years now, you know, I wouldn't say like I am the best at using it. You know, like for simple web browsing, simple navigation, simple, you know, installing packages, and like for some development things, I know how to work my way around Linux. But in terms of actual knowledge that I can, you know, like if someone asked me to teach them like how Linux works, or like explain how Linux works, or like why it's different from Windows or Mac OS, you know, things like that, the difference between Linux distros and kind of like, you know, what they're based off of, I cannot tell you anything. You know what I mean? So I decided to take this course to kind of fill that gap, you know? And so far it's been quite nice. I've been doing it like in the afternoon. Well, of course I not while I'm streaming, but usually when I'm free, or like when I have time to kind of just sit down and use my laptop that runs Linux already, I do like one module of the course, and it, you know, the modules are like packed with info, and there's also like, you know, the little quizzes that you do at the end. So it's not like an easy thing to get through. But it is interesting, and I like it, and it's free. It's free. That's another thing. It is free. So yeah. If you're ever interested in Linux and kind of getting, you know, switching over or like exploring, honestly, I wish I took a course like that before I decided to switch. Because I believe when I was using like my laptop in school, that had like before, like it was a hand-me-down. I wanted Linux on it, and I loved it, but it didn't help that there were some courses that I had to take that did not, you know, they weren't compatible on Linux. Like I had to download software and it didn't work. But otherwise, I would say that ever since I switched to Linux, my productivity has gone way up in terms of like in terms of like the stuff that I do online and kind of like managing all of that. Because I am online a lot. I just, you know, I'm usually doing my own thing. Or, you know, I'm like talking with other people. Because otherwise, if I'm not on my computer, then I'm not really checking, or like I don't get notifications. So when I do have my computer on, I am online. That means I am being productive. But I mean, the switch to Linux really helped with that. Everything I do in terms of like planning or scheduling or writing, coding, I was gonna say drawing, but I'd argue all of my drawing stuff is connected to Apple because I have an iPad. But I mean, other than that, you know, all of that stuff I've kind of integrated when I switched over to Linux, like for my main. Like none of my laptops right now. I have a few. Well, okay, I have one laptop that's like very, very old and is on life support, and that one is that's what I use as my media server. That one is not running Linux only because, I mean, I can dual boot, but all of the stuff that I did on that is on Windows, and it's all configured, you know, a certain way. And because, you know, like, as much as I love messing with tech and whatnot, when it comes to like, you know, like I'm fine messing with that stuff on virtual hardware, but actual hardware, you know, I get nervous. I get nervous. So, I don't really want to change anything on that. I'm gonna keep it Windows, unfortunately. But it's okay because I don't use it for anything else other than keeping it on as a server. So in terms of like productivity and usage, like it's not gonna affect me that much. But yeah, unfortunately, I still have to rely on Windows sometimes. Oh, and like there are like big Linux communities out there, and they're super cool. Like, you know, they're Linux groups, but there's none near me or in my area, you know. And like whenever I talk to Linux, like with anyone else in real life, I mean, besides family, but you know, like, if I'm meeting someone, you know, they're not like nerdy enough to talk about Linux. And you know, there's groups online, but I'm kind of awkward online. Contrary to popular belief, I can be awkward online. And I am not always this talkative. As much as I'd like to be, you know? My goodness, we have not made a lot of progress. But it's okay. Oh wait, no, there's gaps. No! Okay, we can do the gaps last. But I would like to... Honestly, the hair is like the hardest bit. It's always the hair that that makes me stay here for 3 hours just to get this like nice silhouette. And recently, well, I guess it's been about a few months now, but my old iPad that I was using for art stuff before, that finally died. And by died, I mean like there is no storage space left on it, because it's like the base model iPad that has the lowest storage because that's the cheapest. And you know how most tech nowadays don't have SD card slots? Well, tablets tend to have them. At least Android ones. But of course, it's Apple, so they're not gonna have that. They want you to pay for extra storage. Money that I don't have. And that iPad was given to me as a gift on my birthday. A long time ago. And I kept using it. What is it? Oh man, so there's like a whole saga with that. So let me back up a bit. We have time. Yeah, let me back up a bit. So when I first got my iPad for my birthday, I was not using Procreate. Now I knew about Procreate, I knew about Clip Studio Paint, I knew about all of those drawing apps, you know, like Sketchbook and all that. But me, because I didn't know any better, I was using Adobe Sketch as kind of like my main art program. And for anyone who doesn't know, Adobe Sketch and its, you know, like sister application Adobe Draw are basically the foundation of the apps that made Adobe Fresco. They basically combined it because you can do, so Adobe Sketch was kind of like their like raster kind of like little drawing program. Well, Adobe Draw, I believe, was a vector. And like, okay, say what you want about Adobe as a company, their art brushes are amazing. Like that, you know, Adobe is the industry standard for a reason with like Photoshop and all that. I mean, I hope things are changing, but back then, you know, if you wanted to get into the industry, whether it's like art or video, you know, you would have to be trained on Adobe Premiere, and you'd have to, you know, if you're an artist or something, or you wanted to get into graphic design, you would have to know Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop. You know, you had to know the the Adobe suite to get into like industry standard jobs. Which is why back in the day, a lot of people, you know, made cracked versions, because how do you expect broke people to pay like hundreds of dollars just to access your apps? Now, before, Adobe used to release the suite as like kind of like all one creative thing, and it was a lifetime subscription, right? You got lifetime access to the software, and that was all you need. But nowadays, with stuff and their push for the creative cloud, you know, they stopped doing that. You know, I'd argue that a lot of software stopped supporting lifetime licenses in general. But anyway, that's not the point. So I was using Adobe Sketch and Draw as my main kind of things that I used to draw. Used to draw. And I forgot what year it was. But before I got my iPad, I was using my sister's. And until then it works. But after a few years, when I got my own on my birthday and I started drawing on my own, they killed off Adobe Sketch and Draw. And now their thing, the explanation was that there's something about the apps, I guess, that weren't secure or something like that. Or like, you know, I guess they just didn't want to like update it or fix it. But it was, I believe it was actually because they were making Adobe Fresco as kind of like their main like kind of drawing software on the iPad, and they didn't want people to use Sketch and Draw again, because I mean, why would you use Sketch and Draw separately when you can get Adobe Fresco and all of the brushes and stuff that you would use is there. And they gave out warnings. They were just like, hey, the service is gonna close, but me and a lot of other people I noticed online were still using it up until they got rid of it. I even have screenshots of like both Sketch and Draw when I tried to go on it and they stopped the service. They're like, oh no, you need to get Adobe Fresco now, that this isn't available. I was like, nah. And at that point, I didn't really want to deal with Adobe, you know, because at the time too, I was taking a I was in video production, and there was a script writing software that Adobe made. I forgot what it was called. It was like Adobe Story something, but it was for script writing, and I heard that it was actually quite good. But they got rid of it. They discontinued it. If you know, you can probably find an archived version of the program. But in terms of like, you know, using it today, you cannot buy it. It is not a part of the suite from the last time I checked. So, yeah, at that point, no, Adobe's killing off the software that I actually want to use and, you know, is actually nice. That's the thing though, like, Adobe software is nice, but then they kill it off and they want you to pay for the other things. And the problem with like modern Adobe software is not just like the, you know, there's like the whole thing about like the AI stuff. I don't really care about that. But like, Adobe software is just not optimized to run for like everyone's systems. I remember I knew someone who used like, you know, a cracked version of Adobe Premiere for like video editing because they wanted, you know, they wanted to get into the industry, but in order to do that, you need experience with Adobe Premiere. You need to know how to, you know, use it. And so, even with that cracked version, it doesn't even work that well, you know? Like, it just, the program is so heavy, so, like, you know, it eats up, like, your system processes And for an industry standards product or like software, I don't think that's very good. Like, I don't know why industry software products aren't like open source or anything. And that might be just like me being an elitist, but like there have been so many cases where people, you know, people wanting to get into something, people want to explore something, you know, stuff like that. And they just can't because the software doesn't allow for it, you know? Like, luckily nowadays, you know, I'm glad that nowadays there's a lot more like free options to get into that. But that doesn't mean like a lot of jobs, especially in the creative space, still rely on those kind of like kind of rely on those industry stuff. Unless you're going like freelancer, then it doesn't matter. You know, the product is kind of like the product. And you will find as a freelancer that like more people are willing to you know, kind of like accept different ways or different software being used as long as the product and stuff is good. But if you're like working for a company, most likely they still want like something you know, they still kind of want to stick to an industry standard, but if you're like doing stuff indie wise or like freelancer, you know, it's gonna be fine. But yeah, I didn't want to use Adobe. So then I started looking at my options. Now, at the time, I was considering Clip Studio Paint, at least on the iPad. But I kind of looked into it, and the whole like pricing thing for Clip Studio thing confused me. Like between the PC or like, you know, yeah, the PC version and the iPad version, I was a bit confused on that. Because I'm like, wait, if I buy it for the like PC, if I go like ad-free, like it's like how is it for both? Or... I wasn't sure. I was very confused. I don't have like a drawing tablet, so you know, if I were to use something on my computer, it probably wouldn't work very well. So I was strictly looking for iPad use. And that's why I chose Procreate, you know? Like, I bit the bullet, I bought it, and I started to mess around with it. And yeah, from there, my style kind of just evolved, you know? I didn't go lineless at first. I was still doing kind of like my sketchy style with like the textured brushes. I actually really liked the Procreate default brushes. It wasn't until a few months ago I actually started using custom brushes, which is kind of insane. But yeah. Nowadays I still use the default brushes. They have the classic ones, and then they have the like the newer kind of Procreate library. I use a mix of both. So, but I am experimenting with like free custom brushes because I'm broke. So, like as nice as some of the Procreate brush packs are, I am too broke to afford any of them, even if they're like a couple dollars or whatever. But I just don't know. I don't necessarily need it. If I don't need it, then I'm not gonna grab it. Oh, and just look at that. We're making great progress. How long has it been? Oh, it's only been an hour. That's not too bad. Yeah, today's stream might not be that long. I'm planning to stop after I do the silhouette. I could I could keep going into the coloring process, but I might save that for either the next stream. Just because I like to split it up. I don't like to completely color, because you're gonna see if I stream it. My coloring process is interesting. So I don't like to do it directly after I finish the silhouette. I kind of like to, you know, admire the work before I continue on. And it also gives me a chance to kind of refine the color palette, because what I actually like to do is choose all of my colors kind of beforehand and then work from there. And if I need to adjust any colors, I kind of do that on the spot. But otherwise, you know, I'll use what I have planned. The thing with this one though is I didn't really kind of show the piece that well at the beginning, but I have like kind of this like window view on the side, so I'll see. I have to pick a few colors for lighting. That shouldn't be too bad. I'm just not really used to choosing different colors for lighting right at the spot, but that's okay. Again, that's why I give myself a bit of time before I actually start coloring. And usually, at least with my style, the coloring process tends to be the fastest. So, as long as I, you know, like if the silhouette is already ready, then, you know, and I have the colors ready to go too, it should be the fastest. And that's because, just because, you know, while the silhouette process for me is not very efficient, everything else kind of makes up for it by the fact that I skip a liner, and two, you know, I choose colors ahead of time. So that's kind of how I got away with doing that. I could have streamed a bit later. Yeah, I could have probably streamed a bit later today if I wanted to, but I knew that if I kept putting this back, you know, I wouldn't work on it. So it's like, okay, well, I want to stream today, and I thought this would be kind of nice. I didn't, you know, it shouldn't go for that long either. I'm just at the hour mark, and I'm already kind of halfway, almost. So I know for sure this wasn't gonna be like a long stream or anything, but that's fine. I mean, after the ones that I've been doing previously, I don't mind having a... I don't mind having a shorter stream. With stuff like this, no. It's not really a process or something I rush. Because if I rush anything during my workflow, it's not gonna look good. And I've experienced that firsthand, you know, like I've tried to rush something just because, you know, I don't have anything to show. And that's not really like a good mindset to have anyway, but I did it anyway. And, you know, I ended up not liking what I had. And I was just like, oh, so it wasn't even worth it. So yeah, I'm not gonna rush. It'll still be here otherwise. So, yeah. Oh, I forgot to grab water. Not again. Yeah, I can always take a break, I guess. but when drawing, I don't take breaks. Unless something happens like last time, I don't take breaks. I draw like straight through. And part of that is because back then I just didn't have time to draw as much as I wanted to. Nowadays I do, and it's just a matter of like, okay, today I'm gonna be working on this, or I want to get this done. But before, I did not have a lot of time to draw like after work or like even before work. I would only draw on like my days off. So and when I did draw on my days off, it was the entire day. You know, like I had like what, one meal? It's not good. But I would basically only eat one meal and I would draw the entire day, because I know that if I don't do that, the next time I'll be able to work on it and draw won't be until a matter of what, days. So it's not a good habit. And honestly, with my situation now, I should be able to listen that. But I still have the bad habit of like not eating when I draw. I actually have a lot of bad habits like that. So I need to get better at that. I'm really bad at taking care of myself, but yeah. Otherwise, I'm not really gonna be taking a break. And from we're like at the top of the head. Yeah, I don't fill in the background until later. Well, that one, the background, I don't add a silhouette to it unless there's something that pops out. For this particular one, the background is quite simple, so I don't need to do anything. Let me just check. Okay, there we go. I have to check to make sure the music doesn't stop. Sometimes it stops, and I'm like, oh no! Alright. But yeah, with this particular one, I know I'm zoomed in and it looks like I'm working on like a... It's so funny because every time I zoom in, it looks like I'm working on like pixel art or something, but no, it's not. It's just... I'm just super zoomed in so I can erase everything. But I was trying to do something a bit different with the hair this time around. I actually have to fix those gaps later, but yeah. I gotta remember to do those gaps. But I usually go around first, so it's okay. But so far, we're making a lot of good progress, so I'm happy about that. I do... If I end up like talking the entire time though, I might need to grab water and take a break. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, so far I've been able to survive 5 hours while talking non-stop, so... I mean, this shouldn't be too bad. This is kind of like low energy stuff too, so it's okay, yeah. I hope so. I honestly don't know if this kind of stuff is interesting, but I don't know. I try. It's just a lot of erasing right now. I imagine the coloring process will be a bit more interesting, just because then you'll kind of see how I go through things. But other than that, right now, it's a bit dead, but that's okay. Bit boring. But I am trying to make chat. Yes, so it's okay. It's alright. And let's see. mind streaming for a good amount of time. It's okay. So the thing with the hair about this one, well, because you know, yeah, let me zoom out. So I kind of have like a ponytail for hair. No, normally, okay. Here's the thing with me. When I draw, I I tend to either have my hair like down or like short. So yeah. Oh, hold on. What's this? Oh, it's on my other one. Hold on. Someone sent me a message. I have to respond because it's on Messenger. Oh, okay, I'm good. Again, they're on busy, so it's okay. Oh man. Well, I don't know if they're gonna respond to me. I mean, but if they do, that's cool. Okay, back to arting. Anyways, yeah, so I usually, with the hair, I either have it down or short, but I rarely put like hair that's up. Because I remember what is it? I've done like pigtails before, and I don't know, it looks strange to me when I do it. Maybe I'm just being harsh on myself, but I don't know. I'm not used to. I'm not used to having it up. Not to say that like hair that's like tidy or anything like that is bad. I'm just, in terms of drawing it, in terms of drawing it, I'm not good at it. It's not my strong suit. But I figured with at least this character, it makes sense for her to have her hair up. This is actually a redraw, so so yeah. She's like what was it? She's supposed to be kind of like a blunt. I don't know. I'm not used to talking about my characters. How do you explain that? Okay, so she's a very like blunt person, but that's not because she's like cold or anything, but it's because English isn't really her first language, and you know she works in America and she's not American, so that's just kind of why. She kind of comes across as rude, but she's not. She's actually very loyal and protective of her brother, so yeah, she has like that's what I'm drawing right now actually. She has like a very kind of like warm smile when it's like with people she knows and like cares about. But yeah, she works like for her and her brother, and they share an apartment together. Or I guess like a flat. Yeah, no, it's an apartment. And yeah. So she's kind of like the main breadwinner, while her brother, older brother mind you, she's actually younger, but she yeah, she's the breadwinner for the little family. And so, you know, she goes out to work. Her brother leaves first because he has to take a bus to his campus. And then like she's the one that kind of like has a car and like goes off. She works later though. She's not very domestic. That's her brother's job, and so, yeah. So this is kind of like her. I don't know, because what I was imagining was like her coming home, but with the kind of like window thing I drew as her background, it looks more like she's about to leave. So I might have to change a few like of the colors that I originally wanted, or I guess for the lighting to reflect that instead. Yeah, instead of like my initial thought, but that's okay. You know, it should be fine. Ow. I hit my Apple Pencil hit like the monitor of my computer. It's okay. It's alright. Anyway. But yeah, she's she has a very special place in my heart. And the star, she's not actually like the main like character or anything. She's one of the main characters, I'd say. But like most of the story that I've written is actually about like her brother and stuff. But there's a lot of lore that I mean I guess I could go into, but it's like it's a lot. It's a lot of background, and again, I need a bit more time, or like I need to prepare if like I need to prepare to share yeah, to like share everything. But that's okay. I mean, as I like draw and stuff more on stream, I'm gonna have to kind of do that anyway, right? So it's just a matter of getting used to it. But yes, I love writing. Well, okay. I like writing in the sense that you know, it's kind of like creative writing, I guess. The thing with me is that I really like human kind of storytelling. I don't, as much as I love reading like the fantasy genre and whatnot, I am not good at writing it. Hold on, I have to change the music playlist. Oh wait, let's start over. There we go. Yeah, these playlists are not that long, so I have to keep changing them. But yeah, I really like writing in the creative sense. Now, my prose is not perfect. It's like, it's not good, because whenever I write or type it, or practically anything online, I type the way that I talk. So well, of course, you know, I try to add a bit of character into the way I talk online, but otherwise, you know, if I'm talking normally to you or like chatting, you know, I will use full sentences, I will use commas, I will do all that. But that does not mean that my actual prose is good. So I don't tend to share. I don't really share my writing. So even if I talked about it, it's not like it's accessible anywhere. And I don't know. I don't feel comfortable sharing that stuff. Not because it's bad, it's just not something I choose to share. So could I share it? Yeah. But it's not something I do. To be fair, I have tried. The problem is, for me, I don't write, I feel like a lot of writing platforms nowadays, I feel like serialized work. Of course, some people release, you know, like short stories, poems, whatever. But, you know, it's a very... I will say that short form content online, like being shared, unless you're looking at, or unless you're using specific platforms, or you're sharing on specific kind of like communication channels, short content is I guess wildly shared as other content is. Now, I do know a few people that kind of like have poems, or like they have like a blog and then they share poems that way, or like, you know, they have an, I don't know, I guess they use like Twitter or something to share like poems that way, and they do it within the character limit, which is impressive. Yeah. Well, I'm sure, maybe it's just because I haven't been looking, but I'm sure there's a community for that out in, you know, online. There's a community for everything nowadays, if you look hard enough. I don't have much of a presence online, if I'm being honest. I mean, sure, I have my YouTube channel, I have my Blue Sky. I also have my other artist account. But in terms of like actual presence, right? It's not like if I go to one community and show up in another, people are gonna recognize me, which I honestly prefer. But at the same time, I don't like, you know, that means I don't get much traction. Which is okay. Although, to be fair, I think streaming has kind of helped with it, which is nice. So, cheers to that. Ooh, look at that! We're making our way down. Now, I am so sorry if the way that I move the canvas is a bit jittery. This is how I like to work. But it's okay. Like I genuinely flipped the canvas around everywhere like this. So yeah. The stream is almost about like 2 hours. To be fair, that's about how much I estimated this would take. So it's okay. I still have to clean up the silhouette too, so even after this, you know, I'm not done. For sure, this is gonna be a section I have to fix later. Yep, I already see a bump right there. And I might have to... Like, to get it nice. I usually wait until after the end to kind of fix it so it's a lot smoother. But at this initial stage, I don't actually... Yeah, I don't do a lot of smoothing. And that's mostly because, you know, at the moment, it all just looks like pixels to me. So... But that's okay. I mean, for the most part, people, when they look at your eye, they're not like zooming into all of the individual pixels unless there's a specific reason to. But if, you know, if you're looking at an illustration, actually like a portrait or something, you're not gonna like zoom in at pixel level, you know, just to check if it's messy or not. I only smooth out the spots that are overtly like not good to look at. Like certain curves, you know, certain curves I do fix. So like I'm like that, like that's not good. I have to. It'll be easier to see when I get rid of the sketch and I can zoom out. For right now. And most of the time too, I use the sketch as my guide for coloring, which you'll see probably Wednesday when I get a chance to work on this one. But yeah, so I don't completely get rid of the sketch because I need it to color, but I do, like during the coloring process, I do end up changing where some stuff appears or looks like, as long as it's within the silhouette and I don't have to like add to the silhouette or change anything. Because sometimes too, when I notice like you know, certain things that I have to color, I end up having to smooth things out again anyway. Or like you know, the way that I erased it, because of course I'm doing everything manually, it doesn't look good. So I have to fix it anyway. And that's a bit why I go you know, I don't just use an outline and then fill it in. Because, or like a fill bucket tool, you know? Because there are gonna be things that the tool misses. And it's actually, it's more time for me to go around and look for those little gaps than it is me just filling everything in with like one solid chunk and erasing the outer bits. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's kind of like my approach. From what I've gathered online, what a lot of people do for like a lineless style is that they have like a sketch and then they kind of like paint over the sketch, like kind of like blobs, and use that as the guidelines for like how they do it. But for me, if I did that, I would not get kind of like the I wouldn't get the sharp like hair bits if I did that. Just because like even though my style is lineless, it's still like an anime style, you know? And it's not like I'm basing it on realism or anything. So I do like having those like pointy bits. I'd honestly say that's like one of my signature things. Like, you know, a lot of my hair tends to be quite like what is this called? Pointy. Yeah. So that's also kind of why doing it manually like this allows me to preserve that even when I color after. So that's a bit of my reasoning. But yes. Honestly, the hair's a lot worse because this is a female character, and so her hair is quite long, even with it up. But with a lot of my male characters, they have like so much spiky bits that the hair is honestly the bit that takes me the longest, even with like the sketch, right? Because again, I have to refine it for like, you know, to use as my guide for the coloring process. And so whenever I make the silhouette for like a guy character that I'm drawing, I always end up having to take like a day break. I mean, I'm gonna be doing that with this one as well. But yeah, no, it's a bit of a nightmare. So I don't like enjoy it. It's not fun. As much as I like the end result, I do tend to suffer in the middle of it. But that's okay. You know what? That is fine. The thing is too is that because even with like my art accounts, they don't get any engagement or visibility at all, you know. No one really, unless I share it on Discord or like Luxo or something, no one really sees my artwork. I used to post on Facebook, but I don't really like posting on Facebook. I try to schedule it ahead of time so I don't have to worry about it later. But the thing with that is that even when scheduling it, you know, like I don't always have time. Because what I was trying to do, right, with Facebook and its algorithms is that sure, they'll like push it or whatever, even, you know, and you can write like a good description, you can have all the captions, you can use tags, but because Facebook, like, you know, it rewards you if you can, like, for like consistency and posting, and let's face it, Facebook is not the best, right, when it comes to pushing people's work. You know, they've been pushing a lot of the AI stuff. My parents are actually victims of that. You know, they love watching reels and whatever, and they always like get the AI ones in their feed, and it's like, if you don't comply with the algorithm, it's not gonna reward you. And even then, like platforms like Facebook or Instagram, the algorithm doesn't really like work that well for artists. Like if you don't have another kind of presence already online, it's not good, you know. It's not fun. Like I kind of mentioned earlier, it's almost like a game now, you know. most people treat it as like, oh, how can I game this algorithm to get more views and clicks and likes or whatever? Because like most of those accounts, what they do is they get a lot of like viewership and whatnot, and they, you know, ads. So but anyway, I used to have, so technically Facebook for my art account is still up. I used to have an Instagram, but Instagram wasn't really working out for me. Again, because I don't really post it consistently, and I don't actually like using Instagram. I only use it because people I knew from like school had it, or like, you know, that's what they used. Actually, no, it was a mixture of Instagram and Facebook. But I don't like any of those platforms, if I'm being honest. And I get I know you can turn notifications off, but I get so many notifications from both of those apps combined that I don't really care about. I mean, that's kind of how they get you though, you know? Like, oh, like your friend posted this, or, you know, new reels available, like, you know, this post was recommended for you. That's kind of how they get you to doom scroll. But personally, for me, it's never worked. If anything, I just get annoyed. And you know, sometimes it's really hard for me to stay in contact with people. Not because I don't care or like, you know, I'm not there. It's just everyone's kind of dealing with their own thing. So I'll look, you know, if somebody releases like news about something that's happened in their life, I will look. But, you know, I don't really respond to anything. Mostly because I'm not in a lot of people's like lives anymore. not in that like I'm completely gone, but you know what I mean. Everyone's kind of doing their own thing, so I don't consider myself like, you know, someone that needs to respond, I guess. Like, I'll look and I'll, you know, sometimes I'll greet them, but in terms of like engagement, I'm not really there because I don't use social media. Well, that's just me. I still have a few people that I keep in. I wouldn't say keep in contact, but I'd rather say like keep tabs on. You know, they know I'm there. You know, doing my own thing, and I will occasionally message them if I have something to say or ask. But that's about it. Is this? Oh yes, this is the last bit for the hair. After that, it should be easier. There's this gap in the hints, but that's okay. Lots of gaps in this one. But, with this character specifically, what, it's been years since I've drawn hair? Cause I've been, you know, like writing stuff back here. But in terms of, drawing hair, you know, like her previous version, I believe I shared it online somewhere, but her previous version was not really like true to her character. So, and that was years ago. So now that I'm a bit better, or more conscious, I should say. I wouldn't say I'm better. Honestly, I know a lot of people like my art style, but me personally, I've always found it, you know, not very interesting visually. Which some people would say otherwise, but that's just how I feel. And maybe that's because it's my you know, art style, you know? But yeah, no, oftentimes I kind of like, I look at my art and I think like, man, I wish my art style looked closer to what a lot of people do online. Every time I've tried to follow tutorials though, or like, you know, saw like a graphic or something that I found really cool and I wanted to try and learn, I don't like it. You know, it doesn't look good to me. I don't know. I mean, if someone else saw, maybe they'd disagree with me. But because no one really talks to me, I don't often have like other opinions. And I know there are places online where you can like ask for critiques or whatever. But personally, I mean, especially joining like Discord servers or like anything like art related, I feel so out of place. Like I'm sure like it's normal for like most like kind of like chatting groups or servers to be like that. You know, like to be the way that they are now, with like the way the internet is and all, because internet chatting culture is quite different. I do not feel comfortable in most of those environments, I'll be honest. And that may be because I don't understand a lot of the like language that people use nowadays. When talking online, I promise you, I'm not that old. I'm not that old. I just, I don't know. I guess I just, I don't understand it. Honestly, the way people talk sometimes, which it scares me. Like I do, hold on. I do get scared. There's this thing that one of like someone or that I like learned online, and they're like called tone tags or something. And I don't know, that's supposed to clarify like when someone is joking or being serious because of like the way they like, I guess, send the message. It's just to clarify things. But I've seen those tags and honestly, they confuse me more than like the message itself. I don't know. That might be just me. Again, I promise I'm not that old. I'm just a bit strange. Oh. And would you look at that? I've been streaming for 2 hours. I have OBS directly in front of me, so I can see what the time is. And also in case I need to switch screens. Usually when I'm playing a game, I have it on my other monitor. But this time around, no, I'm not doing anything intensive. So I can just have OBS in front of me. But yeah, I hope I've been napping a lot about me, but whoever's watching this, I hope you're having a relatively good start to your week. So last night I was in the mood to play some rhythm games, and so I was playing Project Diva for like 5 hours. I managed to break some of my records there. I was trying to fill combo a lot of the songs, but by the 5-hour mark, I'll be honest, I was quite tired. So, I got a notification on my phone. But yes, so I really like rhythm games, but the problem is that I rage so hard when I don't do well. I have really high standards for myself when it comes to rhythm games. So I don't know how interesting it would be to play those on this channel. Oh. But if you truly are interested in seeing that, you know, I would not mind. I do not mind playing rhythm games on stream. It depends on which one it is. Something like Project Diva, the problem with that is that I have so much hours in that game. Like I am not that fun to watch just because with that game in particular, I space out. I genuinely, like, I could be playing a song on hard, maybe on extreme, or like a harder difficulty. I'm a bit more focused, but I mean, when I play at a harder difficulty, of course I'm gonna rage a lot more. And you know, as much as I love rhythm games, if I keep raging, you know, I'm not gonna want to play for a long period of time. So I would like to enjoy my experience. Oh, and well, there's other games that I would like to play too. Like just maybe every once in a while. Here's the thing too, though. I don't know about copyright. Because I'm doing this on YouTube, yeah. So I have no idea which things will hit me or not. And I'm not monetized. So it doesn't really matter in that sense. I'm not gonna get any money. But the problem is though, if I get copyright, I believe YouTube will put ads so that way they can get their revenue. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but if that's the case, you know, I don't want that to happen either. Ads are already nowadays like quite intrusive, so yeah. All right. Okay, I promise I'm still here, but my throat's dying a bit, so I'm gonna be quiet for like a couple minutes, okay? Just stay with me. I'm gonna be quiet for a couple of minutes. Okay, I am back. It's so weird. It's so weird not talking. Like while I'm doing this. I know that I don't have to talk, you know? I don't have to talk as much as I do. But oh. My phone. Sorry, let me put that on silent. Do I? Alright. I'm not used to putting my phone on silent. Anyway, I know I don't have to talk as much as I have been for the past few streams. And it's not that I'm even like voicing myself through. There's no one in chat that's here right now to keep the conversation going. But I'm at least hoping that by keeping the conversation going, it's at least more interesting to watch. Maybe because today my throat, not my throat, but I don't know. I guess I'm not in that much of a speaking mood. I don't have a lot to talk about. I don't want to force like conversation, but at the same time, you know, I don't know who's gonna come in here and like say hello or anything. And I find that you know, I find that if I'm not talking when someone joins, they're just gonna leave. And that has happened a few times before. I don't know how often it happens on YouTube, but I know on Twitch, those few moments are actually, I used to be a no mic streamer, and of course, even if I was typing in chat, like quite often, I mean, I had friends there who would chat back with me, but otherwise, you know, no one really stayed for streams, no matter how engaging or like interesting my gameplay was. Oh, it's also because I don't play like popular games. I can, you know, a lot of the stuff that I did was quite niche. But even when I was drawing, you know, even with a stream like this, and I was playing like calming music in the background, like cafe music or something, you know, most people didn't stay and watch, or if they did, you know, it's not for very long. So I don't know. Like I don't really I'm still figuring things out. Well, because too, you know, if someone is watching the VOD back, like the stream back, and you know the whole stream is literally just silence because I'm not talking to anyone else, I don't know how interesting they would be to watch back. And I don't, you know, I don't think a lot of people are watching back in my stream, at least not in its entirety. But I feel like even then, you know, if a lot of the chunks are silent, it doesn't really motivate people to go back and watch anyway. You know, I do tend to say a lot of stuff on these streams, and because, you know, usually during streaming my chat is not that active, but I would still like for people to go, you know, go back and see that the stream wasn't like, you know, completely void of engagement, I guess. One of the things that I was preparing for when I first wanted to start streaming was that, like, I kind of knew what it was like streaming for no audience or like no engagement. So in that regard, you know, I'm not really new to it, but that doesn't mean, you know, I want it to stay kind of like inactive. Luckily, no, some of my friends do pop in on me, like Cindy did earlier. But other times, there's just big chunks of the stream, honestly, where no one is watching, and I'm just kind of talking to myself. Again, I know I don't have to. I know I don't have to talk. You know? But I feel like if I'm streaming and there is a chance that someone out there is gonna come across the stream and, you know, pop in for a bit, I don't want to, you know, give off the impression that this is just some lonely, you know, like channel that's like streaming to no one. Because even if there's no one watching me live, I'm still putting the stream out there as something people can watch and see later. And to me, that's good enough reason to still put in effort into, you know, talking. No, it's funny though. Back when I was like kind of just streaming personally on Twitch, you know, just because I could. It's not like I took it seriously or anything. It's mostly for like friends or anyone who came across the streams. There was one person I was just like talking about something. I don't even remember what I was going on about. To be fair, okay, disclaimer, I didn't talk that this much when I used to stream before. Because again, it was mostly for like, you know, friends and family who wanted to see me do stuff. And so some random person came in my chat. They were not a bot. Like they were like legitimately a person who came across my stream, and I could be misremembering things, but they essentially said that like, oh, your voice is kind of annoying. And I was just like, oh, okay. I mean, it's like you don't have to stay and watch. And they're just kind of like, yeah, I thought I'd let you know though. And I'm like, okay, thank you. Question. There's no proof of that anymore because I don't stream on that Twitch channel anymore, and VODs don't stay for very long on Twitch anyway. It's not like I downloaded it. I had no reason to at the time. But I remember that memory. Like, I remember that happening. And if it wasn't on Twitch, it was like some other streaming platform. But I haven't streamed anywhere else that I know of. I've tried streaming like on my phone. There's like mobile like streaming apps, like VTuber streaming apps, like Reality, and there's like other ones too. I've used those. Oh, hold on. Will this one be fine? Yes, I'm still watching. Hold on. Let me change the... I just don't want to get copy struck. Okay, this one's alright. Yeah. I've tried those apps before. And don't get me wrong, they're very cool if you're like like if you it's very convenient, I'd say, those apps. But other than that, it's not like unless you like know people are constantly going to other people's streams and like talk with them and whatever. You're not actually gonna, it's not like as easy. Like, sure, streaming on there is more convenient, but oops. I don't know what happened. But you still have to put as much effort into, like, growing, interacting with others, that you would do on, like, a regular streaming, platform or channel, I guess. So... And that was tough for me because, yeah, I can dedicate a bit of time to stream every day, and I can be considered like, daily streamer or whatever. But I don't always have time to go into other people's streams. Sometimes I do, if it's like, it depends on what time it is. I do try to visit my friends when they're streaming. But the timing doesn't always work out, and so... Oh, whoa, hold on. There's something happening with my iPad stuff. Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Let me go back to this. So hello, it's me. I am going to stop thing real quick. I'm gonna stop mirroring and see if that fixes that issue. I've never seen that happen before, but it's probably because I pressed some random button. Oh, I pressed the screenshot button and it messed with like my whole view. Okay, that's what happened. Give me a second. I am going to fix this. I've never seen that happen while I'm streaming though. So let's see, does that fix it? Let me go back. Where is OBS? I've so much stuff. Oh, okay, there we go. Let me go back and see if they fixed it. There we go. Okay. It looks like it's good now. Yeah, I have to be careful. I clicked on the screenshot button on my mouse. Yeah. I have that button as a bit of a shortcut in case I need to. Oh no, it's happening again. Oh no. Okay. Hold on. This should not be happening. Is that when I use the Apple Pencil? Okay, hold on. Why is it doing that? It's like messing up really bad. Let me completely like restart this app that I'm using, and then I can redo the stream. Sorry about that. It must be something with the app that I'm using. It's okay. Technical issues happen, and no one is here to witness it, so it's okay. See, will that work? Let's hope that this is a bit better. Let me move it around a bit. There's a bit of tearing. Sorry, I'm not showing this just because I'm testing it right now. Okay, how about with my pencil? So is it working? Okay, let me go back to OBS and change my screen. Hopefully that's a bit better. I don't know what was going on. Like I said, that's never happened while I've, you know, done this. And you know, it always happens while I'm streaming, you know. It's like, oh, while I'm sharing my screen with my friends, oh no problems there. Oh, but the moment I wanna, you know, like share with everyone else, that's when it's like, no, you're not allowed to. I don't know. Sorry about that though. Oh, I can see here. Oh no! Why is it doing that? Okay, let's try this again. That is strange. Let me do this. Airplay service. I am using Airplay. Hopefully. Ah! You heard nothing, I promise. No worries, let me just fix this. I love technical issues. Whoa! What? I thought I changed the mode. Well then. I have no idea why it keeps doing that. Alright, let me... Yeah. Why is it doing that? I'm like 2 hours. I'm 2 hours into the stream, and like now it's acting up on me. What rubbish is this? Has it been doing that from the beginning? No, I have OBS open, and it looks like it's been fine. What is happening? Do I have to end stream early? I've never had this issue before. iPad. Yeah, okay. Okay. Reconnect. Hello? Okay, something strange is going on. Off. Stopped. No? Let's try keeping it on top. I don't know if that will actually work. Ah! Okay, I guess I am so confused. Okay, I'm reconnecting. What if I just keep it on top? Like, what if I don't mess with anything at all? And just keep going. Because I don't know what the issue is. I genuinely don't know what the issue is. It was working fine up until now. Let me turn on OBS. Okay. Okay, I have it on. If something happens, I will see. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, now I'm a bit scared because I don't know if this has been happening the entire time I've been streaming. I mean, do I want to go back and look, you know? Do I want to go through that? It's all because I pressed one button. One button. Ruined it. So now I don't know. And I'm not gonna click off of this. What I can probably do is I can have OBS to the side instead. But I've been watching from OBS. Okay. Hopefully that works. And if not, then... oh no. I have to cut the stream short. We're almost done though, look it. We're almost there. I just have to do the gaps and then we're done. And then we're done for now. Yay, for now. Ow. I really don't wanna, you know, because I'm streamed it. I don't wanna stop now. Not when I've made so much progress. I don't know. We'll see. No! It's happening again. It's happening again. Okay, that time I stayed on. What if I do? Can I restart this without having to? Do I have to wait? Like, should I just wait? Oh, it's getting worse. What is this? It's getting worse. Okay. Let me. Do I just wait? Should I wait? Oh my goodness, why is it so bad? Does it not like me? I'm not... Is it my network? No. My network is fine. How? What? What if I just... And then... Nope. Okay, do I have to keep doing this? Do I actually have to keep doing this? Okay, wait, I have an idea. I am just gonna completely stop this. Where is Task Manager? Here we go. Background processes. I am going to end it. And I'm going to try again. Okay, I'm going to try again. And see if that solves anything. Okay. Let me turn on. Okay, it's on. It's running. Let me... Okay. Okay. So it's on. I completely restarted it. I ended the task. So if it happens one more time, I unfortunately will have to end the stream. Again, I don't know why it's happening just now. Hopefully a restart will do it some good. I completely ended the task in my manager. So... Oh, let's hope this works. Nope! Nope, it's still happening. It's still happening. It's still happening. No! Is it because I have stuff open? Like, what's going on? Should I close that? What is actually going on? I have no clue. I've never had this happen before. What do I do? Do I wait? Look at this. This is rubbish. I mean, every time I restart it, it seems to be fine, but look at this. Look at how, like, gross that looks. And I don't know why. You know? Like, I don't... Like, what do I do to fix this? it's a bit better now. Like, come on, I really don't wanna. We're so close. We're so close. I don't want to stop now. There's still a bit of weirdness, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. Oh, I'm so upset. Why? Why is this happening? Like, is it something with my iPad? No? Oh man. I mean, it's not as bad now, but it's still happening. It's still happening. I don't know. I mean, no one's currently watching, so I don't know if I should continue or not. I don't know what to do. I'm genuinely in a loss. I didn't know this was gonna happen, like, especially towards the end. No? Because usually I do this and it's fine. This is the first time I've ever had issues like this. Like, this bad. Should I try running as administrator? Don't tell me I have to completely, like, reset my PC just for this one software to work. I'm not gonna do that. Right now, it looks like it's still fine. But if it gets any worse, you know, like someone comes in and tells me like, oh, this is unwatchable, I'll stop. But I don't wanna. With all this progress, I don't wanna stop. So it's upsetting. Truly, like that's upsetting. Is it because of the stuff I have running in the background? No. I've had stuff running in the background this entire stream and it's been fine. I don't know. I don't know why it was doing that and why it was so bad, but it looks like now it's a bit more manageable. So I'm gonna keep on going. I might, after this, I might have to find a completely new thing so I can mirror my screen with my iPad. But otherwise, you know, I don't really have a choice. This is all I've got. And it was working fine before. We gotta love it when technical issues happen. It does not look so bad. I don't know what that weird thing is with the white. It's not pretty to look at. I'm so sorry if you're like watching this back and you get to this bit with like the terrible... Oh. I am so sorry. Look, we're almost done. Look how much we have left. That's it. That's it. That's all we have to do. I can. Okay, there's gaps too, but surely we can do that like within like 3 hours. Surely. Okay. I am looking to make sure. It does look like zooming in. You know, you see all the pixels. It's not too bad. The problem is more overt if I zoom out. So hopefully staying zoomed in. I know that's not gonna be like, I mean, I've been zoomed in this entire time, but hopefully staying zoomed in will make the experience a bit more bearable. Oh man, that sucks. It's not what I want. Oh no, I don't like that. I don't like that. Just get through it. I just need to get through it. I am so sorry. If you're watching this vlog and you made it to this point, or like this is the only bit of the stream that you watch, I apologize. I'm so sorry. I don't want to have to restart because everything else is working. It's just what I'm using to get my iPad footage or like screen. But it is currently not being nice. Oh well. I mean, these things happen. I don't think I've ever had like one stream where I haven't had some kind of issue. I mean, this is the first like big one that's happened to me during a stream. Yeah, this is the first big one that's happened to me during a stream. But I mean, I've had to deal with stuff beforehand. Sometimes it's like an issue with my model. Sometimes it's an issue with OBS. Sometimes it's an issue with YouTube. Like, yeah, there's not been a stream where I haven't like had to deal with something. So just gotta adapt to it, I suppose. Even if it's not fun. Not fun to deal with. Maybe I should put the music higher to deal with like the with what's been going on. I mean, I can do that. Is that a bit better? It's definitely louder on my end, but I don't know how that is for the stream. There is no one here to tell me otherwise. So, yeah, I guess I'll just have to make do. Hey, I can cheat here. Yeah, I'm gonna try to like get as big of a thing as possible. See, now I'm not even like trying to talk. Now I'm just like, okay, well, how do I deal with this? It's okay. It's okay though. Oh, there we go. Okay, okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. I wonder if I can. Oh, it's too big. Okay. And then what I can do, like this first bit is a line. Yeah. This first bit right here. Right. And then just round out this bit. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. There we go. Now it's just the gaps. There's only a few. There's only a few. So let's just do that. And then I'll end the stream. This should be fine. This should be fine. We should be good. Okay. I hope. I hope so. Maybe I should like stop talking again in order to focus. I don't know. I can do that until all these gaps. Maybe I'll just be quiet for these gaps. Yeah. Okay. First gap down. I have this one right here, and then I have the one on the fingers, so. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's bad. It's not good. Ah. Okay. Oh, whatever. If I'm gonna refine it, I'm gonna refine it in my own time. What matters is these gaps, okay? This should be the last one. Like this little bit here. Oh no, it happened again. Okay. Okay, we're almost done. I'm gonna reset it one more time and hopefully that should be enough. It's okay, we're almost there. We're almost there. I just gotta... Okay. On, airplay on. Okay. Okay, I feel like this should work. Just a little bit more. You gotta work with me here. Come on. Okay. Quickly. While it's working. Okay. Okay. Ah, it's upside down. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, okay. So some minor things up there. Did I fix that now? Is it still working? It's still working. Okay. I can fix this. Is that any better? I don't know if that's any better. Okay, overall, it looks okay. I gotta fix that here. I know I said I would refine it, but it's working now. I just gotta... Okay, that looks fine, The finger here... Can probably refine it a bit. Okay. This curve. I have to watch for the hair. Flower looks okay. This bit right here. Still working. Good. Oh, what happened here? It's fine. Can fix that. Okay, otherwise, you can probably smooth this bit out. Especially like the thinner parts. I have to watch for. Okay, it looks like it's still working. Maybe I don't have to rush, but I don't want to risk it either. Oh, I see what's going on. Okay. Oh! Okay. No more. No more. We're done. We're done. And that time too, I ran the app as an administrator and it was still doing that. Maybe a full reboot of my computer will fix that. But otherwise, it is not working. We did... I mean, that's okay though, because for the most part, you know, everything looks good. It's probably a few things that I need to fix on the hair, on the curves for that. But otherwise, we made it. Barely. I don't know. I might have to look into another alternative to get my iPad stuff. That is super unfortunate. Like, honestly, I wish it didn't happen, especially towards the end. I mean, at least it happened while no one was watching, okay? So, yeah. I mean, we made it past 3 hours, at least. That's actually around the time that I was expecting the stream to go on anyway. And we made it through with a bit of hiccups. Anyway, okay. So, honestly, dealing with it kind of tired me out. But it is okay. Okay, so I fixed chat. Everything's good. I'll have to rearrange things back to where it was before. Otherwise, you know, you're watching this later on, enjoy the rest of your day. I am so sorry if the stream looks very bad towards the end. I don't know exactly when it broke, but yeah, I apologize ahead of time. Even though you're probably not gonna see this until you go back and realize stream is utter rubbish. But yeah, I will end it there. Bye bye.